How's it going, guys? Missing Note here, and today we're doing another Kaijudo Evo Fury format deck profile. This one today isn't anything super special. This is just Hyper Aggro Chimera. There's a couple different ways you could build Chimera. There's also like more of a control build that I would like to build at some point. But this one is just focusing completely on applying as much damage as possible as soon as possible. And if something dies, recurring it back, either with your creatures or a couple of your spells, and just keep dropping bodies and getting bigger and hitting hard. There is one card I'm missing from the deck, so it is still 40, but there will be a change at some point once I get that card. I'm not quite sure where it would be at. Well, we'll get to that point when we get there. So anyway, this is Mono Dark Chimera Aggro. We start things off with 3 copies of Gigabulver. Gigabulver is a 1 for 3,000 Chimera, which sounds really freaking good. But whenever this creature attacks, you banish it at the end of the attack. It, being a level 1, makes it the perfect target to evolve on top of for your Hydra Medusas and your Tekimuras. It dying whenever it attacks is also a non-issue. Like I said at the beginning, we have recursion in this deck, and you getting this card back constantly will not be an issue. So Gigabulver, absolutely fantastic card for starting off the deck. 2 cards in, and we're already not playing a Chimera. This is the only non-Chimera creature you play. We play 3 copies of Marrow Ooze. It's a 1 for 1,000 blocker that can also attack. But whenever this creature attacks, you banish it at the end of the attack, just like with Gigabulver. So you can't evolve on top of Marrow Ooze, but it does provide some sort of protection. And it's also still a really good 1-drop card to just start going at shields and being aggro. So Marrow Ooze, while not being a Chimera, definitely has a purpose in this deck, and it fulfills that purpose quite well. Next is the most boring creature in the deck. It's 3 copies of Gigazanda. 2 for 2,000 Vanilla Chimera. Provides evolution bait, and it's just a 2-drop to start hitting shields quicker. It's an okay card. Nothing super great about it. It's boring. This card, however, is, I would argue, one of the best cards in the deck. This is 3 copies of Scavenging Chimera. 2 for 1,000 plus Chimera. Whenever you have only darkness creatures in your mana zone, so kind of like how water is with Reef Gladiator, this creature becomes 3,000 power, and also has the ability that anytime it attacks, you can target a card in your discard, a creature in your discard pile, and return it back to your hand, which is absolutely fantastic because you can get back your Gigabulvers and your Marrow Oozes that you've lost previously by them just attacking. If you had to discard a card through your opponent's cards, however, be it an evolution creature or something, you can pull back an evolution creature back to your hand. So pulling back cards with Scavenging Chimera is really great for an aggro deck because you're going to have constant bodies flowing onto the field from your hand, and it's really, really good. Easily one of the best cards in the deck. And speaking of recurring creatures, we also play 3 copies of Dark Return. This is a 2-cost Shield Blast, and when you cast a spell, choose a creature in discard pile, return it to your hand. The exact same thing as Scavenging Chimera. Any card in your deck that's a creature, just grab it. It's really good. Next, we're playing 3 copies of Gigastand. I kind of team this up with stuff like Aqua Seneschal and Razorhide, stuff like that. It's a 3-cost creature with 2,000 power. And whenever this creature attacks, your opponent has to choose and discard a card from their hand. So you can get some hand advantage going on top of just plowing into their shields and doing stuff. Again, Chimera, evolution bait, super good. Getting hand advantage is pretty good, especially in a deck this aggro that can just keep recurring things back to your hand. Super, super good. You, of course, have to play your 3 copies of Scaradorable of Gloomhollow. 3 for 2,000, blocker, Chimera. Whenever this creature is battling a creature that's level 4 or less, neither creature dies. So this is absolutely fantastic because this card gives you a standing chance against Saberbolt. Because if they swing with a Bronze Arm Sabretooth, you can just block with Gloom Hollow. Both creatures live. You don't take any shield damage, and you get to keep your Gloom Hollow. And their Sabretooth does absolutely nothing. You can just keep blocking it, and Sabretooth just can't touch you, which is absolutely fantastic. Granted, it can't stop stuff like Neuron because Neuron can't be blocked, but this card just deals with so many different things, and the fact that it's a Chimera is also really cool. That being said, I would never recommend evolving on top of it because it's just such a great card. Next, we're playing only 2 copies of Screeching Scare Adorable. 4 for 3,000. Whenever this creature enters the battle zone, you can choose an enemy creature. If it's level 2 or less, you can banish it. Otherwise, it cannot block this turn. So, great for dealing with stuff like, again, Granger. It can deal with Gloom Hollow. You can make it so it can't block you this turn, which is also fantastic. It's a really good card. You can absolutely evolve on top of this one without an issue. I really like Screeching. I was playing 3, but 3 just seems like a bit much. So I think we'll just stick with the 2. This card is the card that I would like to play more copies of, but I only have 2 copies of Chimera Tyrant. Chimera Tyrant is a 4 for 6,000 Chimera with Double Breaker. And whenever it wins a battle, you banish it. So you can start swinging and double breaking shields on turn 4. Just, well, I guess technically turn 5 because it has Summoning Sickness. But this doesn't die immediately like the Gigabulver or the Marrow Ooze. But if they were to poke this with something like a Magris, it would die immediately. So, granted, the Magris would also die, but that's fine because, again, you can pull it back with Scavenging Chimera. You can pull it back with your Dark Return. And you can also pull it back with your 3 copies of Return from Beyond. This is a 4-cost Shield Blast. Choose a non-evolution creature in your discard pile that is level 4 or less and put it back into the battle zone. So if it dies, just immediately drop it back onto the field. And then if this is played on your opponent's turn, you don't have the Summoning Sickness, you can just go in and double break again, which is really fantastic. Return from Beyond, summoning something from discard pile to the battle zone is great. Almost this entire deck is 4 or less, which is also really good. And then that just gives you a body to evolve on top of the next turn, which is also really good. Highly recommend Return from Beyond. It's an absolutely fantastic spell. We also play 3 copies of Bone Blades. It's Bone Blades. Target something level 4 or less, banish it. That's always really, really good. Next, we're playing 3 copies of Hydra Medusa. This is one of the main cards you want to focus on getting to. 5 for 5,000 evolution creature, evolves on top of a Chimera, and when it enters the battle zone, it's a Terror Pit. And what's better than 3 Terror Pits? I'll tell you, it's 6 Terror Pits, especially when 3 of those Terror Pits can attack. Probably one of the best evolution creatures in this set. I put it right up there with Cobalt, Sabretooth, and Neuron. I'd probably place this one maybe a slot higher than Cobalt. I still feel that Sabretooth and Neuron are better, but I'm also biased. I feel Neuron's definitely the best one, but I don't know. I'm probably wrong. I'm just kind of rambling. But Hydra Medusa is a fantastic card. Staple and Blurple. Just one of the main reasons you want to play this deck is just play Hydra Medusa and start doing stuff. It's really good. And I absolutely love this card. We're also playing 3 copies of Tekamora the Wretched. This is a 6 for 11,000 evolution creature that evolves on top of any Chimera. It has Double Breaker. And whenever this creature attacks, you can banish all enemy creatures that are level 1. That effect is more or less never going off. Because if your opponent's dropping a level 1 creature, odds are they're evolving on top of it that exact same turn. So, yeah, this card's more or less just a 6 for 11,000 Double Breaker. And that's like its only purpose. I would probably cut one of the Tekamora to maybe fit in that 3rd Chimera Tyrant. But I don't have it, so right now we're going to stick with the 3 Tekamora. But I feel that might be the change that happens in the future. But we'll see. And then last we're playing 3 copies of Terror Pit because it provides protection for you and gets rid of more bodies for your opponent. And that's super nice. Just lots of removal, super hard hitting deck that can recur things back to the field, evolve on top of it, and keep hitting harder. This deck is super, super cool. I really like it. But anyway, yeah, that's Chimera Aggro. It's something. It's performing a lot better than I thought it would, seeing it's just a deck I just kind of slapped together without any like real like thought put into it, aside from, oh, this is a Chimera, I'll play 3 of it. I definitely feel cutting a Chimera for a 3rd copy of Chimera Tyrant in the future is definitely the correct choice to be making. But I am in absolutely no hurry to try and correct that, as honestly I'm probably just going to dismantle this deck as soon as I'm done to start focusing on other stuff like Blurple. But this deck is really fun, just going super fast, start breaking things, stuff dies, get it back, evolve on top, keep going. It's really fun. But yeah, this deck it's decent. I like it. It's fun. As for the future, I might start switching it up again, going back and forth between Evo Fury and just like open format. Just because I want to like focus solely on Evo Fury for an entire year. That'd be a lot. And then even if I just like focus on Evo Fury until I was done with the deck ideas, that might still also overstay its welcome. So, because I know before I started posting Evo Fury, I had mentioned wanting to profile a dark fire nature deck. I meant light fire dark. I'm running off of 4 to 3 minutes of sleep right now. That played things like Aggro and General Dorsum. It's pretty funny. I liked it. I had recorded it originally, and then I hated how it turned out, so I ended up deleting it. I never went back and recorded it. But we got that. We got Spicy Kurigar. We got Blurple. We got various different decks involving either the Cyberlord package or the Beastkin package for Evo Fury, because those just add so much to any deck that you play them in. Also, my free time, I have been messing around with the Hive combo deck that Modest posted like forever ago. Like he said in his video, this isn't really something to just like take to like any like tournament for like realsies, but it's funny for like playing solitaire. So I've been playing with this a lot. It's really funny. Maybe I could discuss this in the future, but then gonna be more content I'm stealing from Modest, and I'm not necessarily a fan of that. So, but I think more people should know about it. So maybe I'll talk to him about maybe discussing it. It's something I could do. But yeah, don't really have much time to record things at the moment. But we'll figure something out. We'll make things work. But yeah, that's the video. Hope you guys are having a good... Wow, it's 2024. Having a good 2024 so far. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Hope to see you guys soon.